Hi Ione, hi everyone. I'm Gina, the senior editor of Polyester.
And I'm Ione, the founding editor-in-chief of Polyester, and this is the Polyester Podcast, a feminist pop culture podcast dissecting the discourse on a weekly basis. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm laughing because in the script that we read, I put an exclamation mark after you saying the founding editor-in-chief of Polyester.
Yeah, and I read it with an exclamation mark.
I know you definitely said it more enthusiastic than I was just laughing that it's there.
Okay.
Before we start, if you're a fan of this podcast, please make sure to like, rate and subscribe and review. And if you really love us, you can sign up for a podcast membership where you can join our WhatsApp chat, get access to our research each week and get on Instagram close friends for only £3 a month. Do we have any reviews, Ione?
We do. 5 stars, love this pod. I've been listening to the Polyester podcast for a few years, but the episode on personalised health was so perfect, I had to finally leave you girlies a comment. I have a few random health conditions and didn't ever expect to see a podcast that perfectly discussed these new privatised health offers. It helped me personally work out if they could work for me. Answer, a big no. Love also the less serious but always well-researched and nuanced pop culture discussions. That is from Morgan P90 in the UK.
Oh, thank you,
very
Morgan.
lovely.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
Gorgeous.
Lovely. If you are just a listener, and please try and leave a review as well.
That would be very nice.
That'd be very nice. Right? Can I hear your name?
No baby voice.
Can I hear your name?
No baby voice on this podcast.
These very walls. What are we talking about?
I can't even be bothered to get into it.
Right, that's it.
I feel like we're going to start a shitstorm. I can't be arsed.
I think I'm quite going to be a bit neutral, but you'll sway my mind.
Why do I have to be the one to do that?
I don't think so. I think we take turns being controversial, to be honest.
Anyway, we're talking about Brat today.
What's Brat?
The latest album from pop star Charli XCX.
I was going to make a Bratwurst joke.
Oh, well. You didn't set me up for it.
No, I didn't.
So what is Brat, Gina?
It's a lovely sausage you can get at the Christmas market.
Fuck off.
With a spicy tangy mustard. And often a foot long.
Cool. What is the Brat that we're talking about?
Brat is the new album by Charli XCX. It's his 6th studio album. Sixth. I always struggle saying that. 6th studio album by Charli. Sorry, ASMR and down your by Charli XCX that released last week, Friday last week. So it'll be.
It's been fucking ages. It's been my whole life. I feel like there was no time before Brat. It's just
the rollout has been going on for months. Yeah. But it's also weird because if you tally up all the stuff that she's actually done for it, it's not loads.
It's quite a lot. How many singles? 3?
3 singles, but 2 of them released on the same day, as a B-side or whatever.
What, 360 and Club Classics? Or the other one?
Back to Back and Club Classics come out on the same day.
4 singles.
4 singles. One Dutch. Club Classics and Back to Back came out on the same day.
And then
360 come out. The 360 music video, then she did 2 live things, one in Brooklyn and one in London.
No, she did the Boiler Room set.
Oh, she did the Boiler Room set as well.
In February, and that was when Julia Fox performed. I'm a bitch, I'm a girl, I'm a mother, I'm a whore.
Where's that?
It's on Spotify. It's out. She did a music video.
Oh,
it's out.
Sorry, Julia.
It's all out.
Sorry, Julia. Well, maybe if she'd had a green album cover.
And then people would listen.
Yeah, we would have paid. I found it really interesting in the research that someone was like, this is the colour of green screen. It's been made to do that.
It's not.
But
green screen enough. Yeah, but it's not.
Alright, so
yeah, but it's not.
Well, it wasn't my thought. It was the researchers for
green screen is more of it's more foresty, less lime.
Chroma.
It's a middling green. This has got a yellow in it.
Well, for the undiscerning eye, it's very similar. So
not for me.
Not for you. I only got
not for me.
The Pantone Pro expert of the fucking podcast. But yeah, sorry, that was just immediately diving in.
So she did Boiler Room. She's done lots of viral stunt marketing in terms of having a truck or doing a
having trucks driving
outside
around.
a car.
She's down at the car park with the speakers on.
Well, that was the vibe she was trying to. That was the vibe she was trying to go for.
She just did a show at Dalston Superstore as well, didn't she?
Yeah, but apparently she was there for 2 songs. Just saying.
Yeah, but that was when we saw Lady Gaga. She did the same thing.
No, she did 4.
She did 2.
No, did she? Fuck, she did 4.
What were they?
Perfect Illusion was the single, right?
Yeah, Million Reason.
and she did Million Reasons, and then she did Bad Romance on the piano and Poker Face.
Okay, fine. That is 4. You got me there.
And it was incredible, and she was singing live whereas Charli was doing the DJ, right? Which is fine, like, whatever, don't come from
doing
me.
The DJ.
Doing the DJ.
DJ. Okay, so she has actually done quite a lot of rollout for this.
Yeah. And there's, like, the mini club tour that she's done. So, like, that's why, like, everyone was there in LA, and, like, they had one in New York where Julia was there, and that's where Matty Healy and Gabriette announced their engagement, because Gabriette put that picture up that was like, marrying the 1975 is very Brat.
Was that how she announced it?
Yeah.
Puke.
I know.
I would just let Denise do it. Is she called Denise?
Yeah, Denise Welch.
Oh. I was thinking of Denise Van Outen, and I was like, no, that's wrong.
Yeah, I know, there's too many Denises of that age.
Sorry, Denise.
So, Brat, what are your actual thoughts, though, G?
So,
don't be neutral, though. So, Gina listened to the album before I did, because, like, I actually I'm not a Charli XCX stan anyway. Like, I find her quite annoying. So, I wouldn't have naturally listened to this album, I don't think. But then it's on, and I made Gina play it for me a few times. So
played for me.
So I could be fuck off.
What pissed me as well.
So I could be informed. Gina has played it for me a few times.
I have played it.
She's put it on in the studio.
Yes, I have. We've got an all. I don't actually want to say that.
And we are studio divided, but I will say, the first time Gina listened to the album, she said it was dog shit.
There's a lot of dog shit on it.
And you like her.
I do like her. I don't like her as a person, really.
Despite near personal beef.
Near personal beef, yeah.
Would you like to explain?
First, I'd like to talk about the album, because that is what we're all here for. Mm-hmm. That's why we've started this podcast. That's not why we started this podcast. I like the songs on the album that are good, and I don't like the songs that are bad. This is bullshit,
Gina. I'm going to literally tell Olivia to cut the last 5 minutes.
Let me finish speaking.
Okay.
I think the songs on the album where Charli's trying to be a bit more like serious or like vulnerable just don't really like hit, which sounds really nasty, but I just don't think like they play off very well.
I don't think it sounds that nasty. So what are some of the serious songs about? There's the one where she's not sure if she wants to have a baby or not.
Yeah, there's one where she's like, I'm not famous enough and I'm not pretty.
And I look in the face. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm worried that I'm fat.
Yeah, sometimes I say the wrong thing and I've thought about my body before. And it's so like, it's like just that bit of being too specific to make it like translate well enough for me.
Well, this is what we were saying when we did the lesbian pop one, that you don't like narrative songwriting.
No.
I do, but I don't like this.
I just think it's like so like she's put herself on this pedestal with like all her songs and be like, I'm so hot and I'm untouchable, like I've got a Lamborghini and I'm the cool hot girl. So then like for her to put out an album with like these songs that are like to the same beat being like, but what if my head shape is a bit too square? Like it just reads as like they've made like an emotional Charli song. Like they've not, like it doesn't read as authentic to me. And like that's really horrible to say about someone who's trying to be vulnerable. But then it does, like, am I going to be cynical and say that I do think that she's not actually being vulnerable? I think she's trying to like cater to that side.
Hit the spot.
Hit that bit of the audience, because so many of her fucking audience is depressed gay men.
Jesus Christ. Also, but wasn't her whole pandemic album about being vulnerable as well?
Don't know, I didn't listen to it. But all the reviews, like I've read a lot of reviews in the research, thank you CM, that are like, this is her like opening up.
Yeah, there's an article, Should I Be a Mum or Should I Stay a Brat, by Sharon Keating for The Cut, and there's a line in it where it's like, curiosity is a powerful force. I also look at my few friends raising young children with wonder and awe. What might they know that I don't about devotion and love and meaning and sacrifice? We're all familiar with the biological drives and social norms that encourage the reproduction of the human species, but how often do we talk about FOMO? What?
FOMO of other people having kids?
Yeah.
It's like
I feel like being, sorry to interrupt you, but I feel like our age, so like women that are in their 30s now, having children is literally the only thing people talk about.
Yeah.
Like, it's on every podcast, it's in every Instagram post. Like, your friends are starting to do it, but not all of them are. So people are talking about whether they will or whether they won't. Like, it's literally constant when you get to this age. So I don't really think it's like a skewering of the culture to be like open about it. Like, maybe it's something new in pop music, and also, like, as listeners of this podcast will know, that me and you aren't like music head. Like, you listen to a lot of music, but as in, like, we're not like analysing it on the level of music journalists.
No, I would never call myself a music
We're
journalist.
looking at like from a cultural point of view more than like a, you know, is this a sonically good album? Yeah. But I feel like for women that are our age, and I'm sure it's not just women, like, everyone is talking about babies, and the author of this piece is basically saying also there's like such a blaseness to being a straight woman, where she's kind of like, oh, I could just have a baby if I want, whereas like she's gay, and like if you have to, you know, it's not like easy, you can't just like go off your birth control, you have to like plan and be 100% sure, and that like, yeah,
which is what every parent should be doing, I think. Like,
oh yeah, definitely, that's what the author says as well. She's like, it's a good thing to be sure.
Yeah, you can't just have a kid, because it's not just you having a kid, you're having an adult.
And also, it's 100% agree with you, like, everyone thinks about having a baby, not about having a child, adult, human. But secondarily to this point is, it's such a, not to be like economically privileged, like, of course everyone talks about Charli being a rich girl, but like, I'm sure there's loads of people that would really want kids, but like, to just be like, oh, I could go off the pill and like maybe have a baby. It's like, for anyone I know, to have a kid takes like years of rigorous planning as to like where their money will land before they can do it.
Yeah, I think as well in the article, like, she's quoted why Charli wrote the song. So Charli said, she went around her friend's house to write songs, and the only difference between her friend was that she had a kid, so her apartment with the same kids were, the friends were in the kids were in the same place.
The kids were in the same place.
The kids were in D squared. The friends were in the same clothes she usually wore.
Kids had a diesel handbag.
But everything was different, because she has the key to this door that I'm not even, this is what Charli says, she has this key to this door that I'm not even in the same room as yet. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like everyone I know who's a parent is like, I feel the same. It's just I've also got this new responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, and I think like adding this mysticism to like motherhood isn't something that we should be doing as people.
Yeah, as if like a part of you will only ever unlock if you become a mother. Like, that's like quite problematic.
Yeah, it's
not to use the word problematic.
But like in the song she's saying that as well. It's like, she's changed, you're different, I don't have the keys to get, like, all her like lyricism is so, I listen, like, this is what I mean, like, I'm not a music
it's Kate Nash for Gen Z.
Yeah, I'm not a music critic. Like, I listen to a lot of music, not necessarily for the beat, but for like the lyrics. And then
you want poetry.
No, I want bright eyes every day for the rest of my life. But I just don't want like when it's that bad, I'm like, it's fun when it's like that basic, when it's a song about being a slut and having like pink panties on, like one of the like new songs that she's added on. But like when it's like being like, I look in the mirror, what if I'm ugly? What if I had a baby? I'm like, it just feels so like like a parody at that point. I
mean, yeah, if we're talking about parody, we should talk about the song about Dasha from Red Scare.
Can I get the lyrics up?
Yeah, please.
I'm going to read it as a slam poem.
So one of the songs, isn't it meant to like, it's meant to be like a love letter to girls like her, right?
Like Dasha?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
I saw a tweet that was like, no, it's not about her. The song's about someone that's fucking intelligent.
It's like, it's 2 a.m. She's out there in the sheer white dress wearing last night's makeup. She's coquettish in the pictures with the fly. It's made to be fucking put on a Just Girlies thing.
Our coquette episode of the podcast was over 2 years ago.
Isn't it? Worships Lana Del Rey in her AirPods, yeah. She's in her mid-20s, real intelligent, hedonistic with the gravel drawl and red eyes. You said she's anorexic. You hear she likes when people say that. She's mean girl. Calls him daddy while she's fingering a gold cross. I'm like...
she's like fingering a what?
Gold cross. I'm like, did a fucking Lily Rose Depp fan account on Instagram like AI generate this song? Mm-hmm. Like, what's actually going, like...
And it's not parody.
Hudson Mohawk, why have you produced this?
It's not parody, is it?
No, she's being deadly serious. She's like, this one's
like,
for
she
the
thinks she's
girls,
like slicing through the culture.
For the bad girls, for the tear his shit apart girls, break your boyfriend's heart girls.
I think this is a problem that we see with internet culture at the moment, is that if it's like placed into non-internet-y, non-computer-y context in a certain way or in many ways without like proper consideration or like thought, it just comes across as so gimmicky. Like, all like the way that all the fashion brands have like the person that's been on TikTok for a week. Like I don't even know what that person is anymore because like I think I checked out around Tube Girl. But like they have the person and like everyone's saying it's like those types of campaigns where it's TikTok people in fashion is like marketing genius because it's like tapping into different markets, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, no, I think that just instantly makes something uncool. Like it's something that needs to be like handled quite preciously, and the Red Scare Mean Girl has already gone through like 2 years of the trend cycle. Like we're out the other end.
I think as well, like we talked about it, was it last week, being an it girl or being cool in that way, it has to be an unsaid thing. Like that's a huge part of it, whereas like being like, are you a mean girl? Are you bad? You're cool. You've got a white dress on and maybe your pants haven't been washed in a week.
No, those girls are washing their pants like 4 times a day.
I think you've latched onto the wrong bit of my point.
They're not actually dirty girls though. They're just like rich girls that want to be cool.
We've got a good essay about that, about dirty girls on the site actually.
We do, and with that we'll go to the break. And we're back. What did you want to say? Oh, you wanted to be the one to take us to a break. Well, sorry.
I never get to say we're going on a break. Should we try another one of those songs?
Wait, no, back onto the Mean Girls. So the Brat review in Pitchfork said, it's the first major label pop song inspired by the Red Scare podcast. It's also a catchy one at that, to what the relatable era demands of artists. Is there a way to be a pop star without being a role model? Can a woman feel empowered without being a girl boss? Can she reject the pose of perma victim and still make resonant art? I think like where these lines in the review miss the mark for me is that like, again, the culture's already moved on. Like these are references from like years ago now, and women in the world and like girls in the world are not really having conversations about whether they're empowered because they smoke cigarettes and have rip tights anymore.
Yeah, I thought the Pitchfork review was so generous. Like it just made me feel like I read on Twitter, so I don't know if that's a real source, but that it's the 16th highest review they've ever given an album, and they go back and like review albums from like the fucking 60s and that.
It is very generous.
It's so generous, and it's such like like adding an intelligent reading to what Charli's doing. I'm not saying she's not doing that.
I'm not saying that she's thick as shit, but
I think it's like, that's the thing with music, art, anything, like you apply like your own lens on it. And I think sometimes when you like something as a person who gives criticism, you give it all this weight because you want it to have that to like justify why you like it. I think that happens loads in stan culture as well, where they'd be like, it's got all these hidden meanings, you know, she's saying that because she means this, and like it becomes this nebulous thing where like what the artist's intent, like they don't even have to intend to be smart anymore because the fans will just do the work for them and like justifying anything that they've done or said.
Yeah, 100%. And I also think like, I think where Brat Summer is like disparate for me is that the marketing is really strong. Like the visuals are good, even like the album cover, which everyone hated at first. So it's obviously clever that like it's, you know, been like siphoned down into such a recognizable thing. Like you can just say those words and understand, you can attach a group of people to it. Like she's done it really well, and obviously also captured a zeitgeist like outside of it. Like it doesn't feel contrived, the marketing, and it feels like what should be happening now as well. Like it feels like people are rooting for her because we've seen her like on this kind of precipice of being very famous, and I feel like for English people she's more, or you know, people that live in Britain, she's more famous than in America. Like this is kind of her more of a breakthrough into the mainstream there, I feel like.
I think we've been like the British people have been gagging for like a pop star girly for a while. Yeah,
but then there's like this weird tension because the reason that she's popular is that she's positioned herself as like an underground queen and like someone that doesn't conform to like standards of a mainstream pop girly, and has done a rollout that reflects that. Like all of the people that are going to the shows, like even in 360, like the people she had in the video, most of them were like bang on the money, etc, etc, etc. So in her marketing has really captured the zeitgeist, but then the album feels out of date, and I think that's what makes it not make sense for me, is that the album is like behind in cultural references. I know like, you know, an album gets made before a marketing thing starts, but it's like don't make music that specifically is tied to such a specific time period and references then.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that it also becomes this thing where Charli's marketing gets attributed to her.
Oh yeah, 100. That's another thing. Like, it's so funny in an era where people are like, so cynical about everything. Like, or also,
did the social media intern fuck up by posting this?
Yeah, exactly. And like, even, you know, people being like, oh, that person didn't mean to, you know, like that transphobic tweet. They probably have a team. Like, in the era of that. But
they have a team.
They have a team. But in an era with that, we're assuming this all comes from Charli's brain. And it's so funny because she's even told us that it hasn't. Like, she put up on her Instagram, like, a screenshot being like, here's some ideas that I was pitched for marketing. Like, Charli gets her nipples pierced at Claire's. Charli crashes weddings and sings her own songs. Charli crashes a Sweet 16. Charli crashes a bar mitzvah. Charli shoplifts. Charli leaks a sex tape. Charli announces presidency. Charli does a tube photo shoot. It's like, we're literally being told that this is being through a machine, but like, people don't care. And it's fine. Like, I'm not saying that diminishes the art.
No, I think it adds to it. Like, it takes so many
people. Takes a village.
Takes a village to make a green album. It takes so many people to put out like a campaign like this, and it's like, definitely like one to be studied and one that's really interesting.
The LinkedIn girlies are going wild.
Yeah, the LinkedIn girlies are already going wild for it.
And I really like Terence O'Connor, who does a lot of her like visuals.
But it's funny that like people will use their cynicism to like either justify what their favourite's doing or to just shit on a random company or brand or whatever.
Yeah, it just bends it well.
But they wouldn't actually use that critically to think, oh, how has this product that I like come into being? Or like, how have I been sold it?
I find it, obviously as well, like there's been the whole through thread of this album that Camila Cabello is copying her. So if anyone hasn't seen it, it's like Camila Cabello's claimed blue. And like did all these things like a pop-up at 7-Eleven, and like everyone's saying that her song I Love It sounds like a Charli song, and Charli has written for her before, and like my whole Twitter friend all the time is like side-by-side comparison pictures. But they're like obviously
and Katy Perry.
I mean, and also that's not to say that Charli hasn't had a huge impact on the way these pop stars are like now behaving, but it's worth thinking that like Charli herself is someone that has like moved through quite a few different eras of like subculture, always pulling from subculture, like, to be fair to her, but like her aesthetic has changed as much as any other pop star, and she's being fed through the same machine as all of them. Like, she's just done it a bit earlier.
I saw a pic of Dorian Electra with Charli from 2013, and Charli's wearing like a tweed coat and like a Peter Pan collar. I was like, she's changed so much. Like, that's so jarring to imagine her being that twee now, but I like completely like erased from my memory that she had ever been that.
Yeah, and it's like she's very good, and this is a compliment. She's very good at like capturing the zeitgeist and getting it early, and like that is through a genuine interest in like supporting younger creatives, supporting younger artists. Like, we know artists that she's worked with, like we have mutuals like in the same like, you know, community as her or whatever, and I think that's like a genuinely admirable creative skill. But yeah, it's funny that once you reach a certain level of fame, I guess it's more of like a musing on fame than anything else, that like it becomes about you singularly rather than like all of the things that make you. And I suppose she does try to combat that in like the Club Classics lyrics, where she's like, I want to dance with, and then names the producers.
Yeah, and there's a song like dedicated to Sophie on the album. That's sweet.
But again, like, stan culture is its own beast at a certain point, or like just even the way we process fame, I suppose, like we don't have the tools to be able to process it through like the lens of a community rather than just one person. So it becomes like all of these things, whether it's like the people at her show or this or that, the producers, like the clothes she's wearing, it's like she's the iceberg at the top and everything else is under the water. Like that
drawings,
meme.
The lesbian one.
Yeah. My favourite meme, lesbianism in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Wait, say it again.
My favourite meme, the lesbian iceberg of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
So I just went, you know, the lesbian one. The lesbian one. I think that's kind of like where Charli team gets it right though. Like she interacts with the fans so much. Like I remember a few years ago she was doing like album signings and she was encouraging people to bring her like the maddest things. So she was like signing douches and like poppers. Like she leans into like working with her fans.
I find it so cynical though. I don't like that.
I think it's cute, but in either way that you look at it, like it's successful.
Yeah.
And it's so successful to the point where like she does like have to, she's like being self-referential, and that's kind of what doesn't work for like someone like Camila Cabello and Katy Perry. Like
it's brand new, yeah.
It's brand new to you to be like engaging with this subculture, and it's brand.
I saw a tweet that was like, oh, it's funny to see the amount of like dwindling pop girlies that have like given it all up and decided to appeal to the easiest demographic in the world, aging white gays.
Got it right with that one.
Yeah, and I feel like it's so funny because when I was talking to my partner about this last night and I was like, oh yeah, just Kate Nash for Gen Z or whatever, he was like, but she's not Gen Z. I was like, yeah, I know, but like she reads so Gen Z like I feel like the people that like her honestly are more Gen Z.
Yeah, because the rest of us have been with her
hardened.
Been with us through the whole journey. She just feels like the peer who's for Gen Z then. Like, there's obviously artists that appeal specifically to different audiences and they don't actually have to be of that age group.
Yeah, I know. But, like, it's so, like, I don't know. Also, maybe it's people like misconstrue and they always associate, like, the youngest people in age to being the ones that make up internet culture, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. When usually it's me and you and everyone in our age group.
No, I just mean it's like I was speaking to someone about this the other night. Like, I feel like the internet has made us really factional about generations, whereas like we never spoke about Gen X.
No,
the first time I discovered a Gen X was like through that Winona Ryder film, where it's like Singles. Is that what it's called?
No, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't really know about the differences between generations until Gen Z came along.
Yeah,
it was like a line drawn in the sand.
Yeah.
No, maybe like when millennials were first being like... Millennials can't buy a house. Millennials eat too many avocados. Millennials...
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like
it's
just more of like across age demographics than people want to...
There's more blurred lines in it for sure. Like, I feel like young millennial and like older Gen Z have more...
in common
than like a young millennial has with like an older millennial.
Yeah. Facts.
Facts. Thank
God.
I had a point there, but I forgot what it was.
No, I think, yeah, it will be interesting to see. I think the impact will last, but it will be interesting because I think the marketing will last, not the music.
Well,
I think there'll be a few songs, like, yeah, the singles do bang, like, they are good, but I feel like as an album, people remember it as like the album she marketed really well, not like the album that was her best sonically or whatever.
What do you think was the album that was the best?
I don't fucking know. I haven't listened to a Charli XCX album in my life.
I think she's known for being...
Before this.
That's like what's so weird about this is because everyone kind of knows Charli from singles. And this is the first time where people are talking about her as an album artist. Like, I've never really seen her discussed in that way before. Whereas, like, there are artists who, like, their thing is, like, they make, like, Lemonade and then, like, you listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, straight away.
Yeah. Anyway. It's also, like, there's a diss track on this album, but Charli said there isn't.
There is.
Yeah.
It's the one that's, like, they say that we got the same hair.
Yeah. I wonder who it is.
Oh, it's obviously just going to be about someone really boring.
No, people have... There's fan theories, right? So the first one...
Yeah. Lorde. Marina. They're the main two, aren't they?
They're the main two.
Sorry, I feel like I'm really...
You did take that from me, that was nasty.
But then Lorde posted, did you see on the day of release, being like, also, I'm like, sorry, Lorde, do you actually believe this? Like, maybe I just think too much of Lorde. No, but she's like, this album is going somewhere no artist has ever gone before. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like...
That's probably her team being like, let's
get ahead of this.
We're not letting people think this is about it. And she also slags off Taylor Swift, which is quite fun.
What does she say?
In one of the lyrics, she's like, I see you backstage with your boyfriend at my boyfriend's gig. Like, I hope you break up soon.
Could also be about... I don't know.
Well, she was dating Marty, wasn't she?
Yeah. It's just the way that, like, yeah, I feel like all of the music journalists around this are being like, this is really capturing the moment of, like, where women are confused. Like, we don't know if we like other women, we don't know if we hate them, blah, 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 blah. And I just feel like it's really obvious.
It's such a fucking post-feminist take. Like, I'm just sick of it. I'm bored of it. Like,
sorry, it's not simple, and it's going like, I love women. They are so cool. It's like,
it's not fucking Meghan Trainor.
Yeah. But it's like all songs used to be about, like, getting in a relationship or having sex, and now they're all about being girl. Like, being girl, cool. Yeah, being girl is good.
I'm girl, but I'm better than girl. I'm brat.
Yeah, and now it's brat. Yeah, exactly. It's an extension of the same fucking thing. Like, it's still like a posturing of ego.
Tell them.
It is. It's no fucking different.
No, it is. It's like, I'm like I see girl, and I am definitely girl, but I'm like a bit cooler than girl.
I'm different because I like smoke a cig.
I smoke a skinny cigarette.
Because I'm skinny.
And my tights, I ripped them. And I'm looking in the mirror after doing a line of coke. And God, life's crazy.
One of mine and Gina's main takeaways: drugs are embarrassing, and it's true.
Yeah, drugs
will never be cool anymore.
Yeah.
It's over.
Do
them in private.
I think it always has been.
Not in private, but keep it away from me.
Talking about drugs is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Just do it if you're going to do it. And if you're not going to do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
The end.
Stop talking about drugs.
Start talking about the Polyester podcast.
Someone said to me when I said we were doing this episode, they were like, but you're the actual Brat, Ione. And I said, well, yes, I am.
Okay.
Don't be mean. So, Gina, any final thoughts?
I like the good songs. I don't like the bad songs. What about you?
Are you having a Brat summer?
I'm having a wet, hot American summer. What about you?
What does that mean?
It's that film.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen it though. So what's the subtext?
Fun.
Okay. No, I don't think I'll be having a Brat summer. Thank you, Gina.
Thank you, Ione.
Thank you to Siham for the research, and thank you to Olivia for the edit, and thank you to all of you for listening. We will see you next week.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.